Hello, and welcome to CISA Recap. People have had to get used to dinosaurs being on the mainland for the past 4 years, when they were let loose. After grabbing a fish cage with its jaws, the Mosasaurus is seen pulling down a fishing boat. People have died because of dinosaurs, and many people think they should all be killed. However, some people have found a way to illegally sell and distribute all prehistoric animals on the black market. The government hands over control to Biosyn Genetics, which is run by Lewis Dodson, Campbell Scott, with the promise that the dinosaurs will be kept at a sanctuary in Italy's Dolomite Mountains so that more research can be done on them for pharmaceutical purposes. Claire Deering, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Zia Rodriguez, Daniela Pineda, rescue a baby dinosaur from an illegal breeding site at a facility in Nevada. They escape with Franklin Webb, Justice Smith, in a van, but security guards chase them until the three of them get away. Franklin and Zia tell Claire that they can't keep doing this kind of work. They support Claire in her plans, but they need to move on to safer jobs. Owen Grady, Chris Pratt, is riding a horse near the snowy mountains in Nevada to catch a big dinosaur. After he's done, he goes back to the cabin he shares with Claire and Maisie. He and Claire are now Maisie's new parents, so he and Claire take her back to the cabin. Claire and Owen try to keep Maisie hidden because they are afraid someone is after her. Maisie likes to wander away from home and see dinosaurs on land. This makes her mad at them, and it also makes her want to know more about Charlotte Lockwood, from whom she was cloned. In the woods, they are being watched by mercenaries led by Rain Delacourt, Scott Hayes, and Maisie is their main target, who Maisie later names Beta. They go out together to hunt. 2 kids in Texas are being chased by a huge group of locusts. Ellie Sattler, a paleobotanist, is told about this. Laura Dern. She looks into the farm where the locusts attacked and ate all the crops. The mother of the children tells Ellie that Biosyn planted the crops in the area that the locusts didn't eat. Ellie meets up with Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill, who is working with other aspiring paleontologists. She shows him a locust that she has caught and tells him what's going on. She is worried that if they spread, they could mess up the food chain. Alan and Ellie think that Biosyn made them so that only their crops are left. Ellie wants Alan's help to get DNA from another locust at the Biosyn sanctuary. Their old friend, Dr. Ian Malcolm, had already asked her to come, Jeff Goldblum. Alan is unsure at first, but in the end he agrees to join. When Blue and Beta get back to the cabin, they meet Owen, Claire, and Maisie. Everyone is surprised to see that Blue has given birth. Maisie rides her bike over the bridge, and the bad guys also take her. Owen sees this and tells Claire to go after them. Claire says that she knows someone who can help. Claire gets in touch with Franklin, who works for the CIA these days. He gives them information about Delacourt and leads them to Owen's old co-worker at Jurassic World, Barry Semben, Omar Sy, who can take them to where Maisie and Beta are being taken by the mercenaries. Alan and Ellie get to the sanctuary and meet Biosyn's head of communications, Ramsey Cole, Mamoudou Athey. He introduces them to Dodson, who tells them that they are working on something new and revolutionary. Alan and Ellie are taken to a place where Ian is giving a talk. After that, he joins them and tells Ellie in a quiet way that the locusts are part of a bad plan by Biosyn. While this is going on, Dodson meets with Dr. Henry Wu, B.D. Wong, who feels bad about helping to keep these experiments going because the locusts have grown at an alarming rate. Sonoya Santos, Deacon Lockman, a friend of Dodson's who lives in Malta, calls him to tell him that Maisie and Beta have been taken to Biosyn HQ separately. Owen and Claire also show up and see Barry again. He takes them to a place where animals are sold on the black market, eaten or forced to fight. Claire meets Kayla Watts, who flies for the vendors and is played by DeWanda Wise. She tells Claire not to bother anyone there, but in the end, she agrees to help Claire find Maisie. Owen and Barry stay hidden while this is going on and watch Delacourt meet with Santos to smuggle Atrociraptors. The two go up against Delacourt and his men and fight them. Owen tells him to tell him where Maisie and Beta are, but all he says is Santos' name before he gets eaten by dinosaurs in the fighting ring. Claire fights Santos and finds out that Maisie is going to Biosyn. She then runs away from a loose dinosaur and meets up with Kayla. Barry catches Santos, but not before she sends one of her dinosaurs after Owen, who is riding a motorcycle to catch up with Claire and Kayla. He gets on Kayla's plane just as she and Claire are about to take off, and Owen uses the motorcycle to push the dinosaur off the ramp and into the water. When Maisie gets to HQ, she meets Wu. He tells her that even though she is Charlotte's clone, she is also her real daughter because Charlotte gave birth to her. Maisie watches a video of Charlotte, Elva Trill, and sees that she was pregnant with her when the video was made. Charlotte had a disease that was passed down through her genes, but she was able to change Maisie's DNA to get rid of all traces of the disease. Wu hopes that by studying Maisie's DNA, he will be able to change the locust DNA and stop the outbreak. Alan and Ellie sneak into the room where the locusts are kept to get a DNA sample. At the same time, Maisie and Beta are trying to get away with Beta. Alan and Ellie are surrounded by locusts when Dodson sounds the alarm, but they are able to get out safely. They run into Maisie, who recognizes them. She starts running with them. Ramsey finds them and agrees to help them because he thinks Biosin's work is wrong. He sends them away to safety on a monorail. Ellie tells Maisie that she knew Charlotte when she was in school. She says Charlotte was smart and kind. Kayla's plane is attacked by a real Quetzalcoatlus while it's in the air. Claire has to jump out of the plane because her parachute is torn, and she falls into the trees. Owen and Kayla fall through the ice of a nearby lake. They try to cross it without getting hurt, but another dinosaur is after them. Just in time, they make it across, and they head off to move Claire. She climbs down from the tree, but she has to move quietly because a pyroraptor is following her through the forest. Owen and Kayla hide when the T-Rex shows up to eat. They are able to find Claire. Alan, Ellie, and Maisie are going through caves when they see dinosaurs attacking. This makes them run until they get to the outside. Ian gives Dodson a hard time for what he did, so Dodson fires him. Ian and Ramsey work together to find Ian's friends. He lets them out of the cage so they can get away from the dinosaurs. Then, Dodson sets fire to the lab full of locusts to get rid of evidence. The fire-breathing locusts get away and fly out into the open. Alan, Ellie, Ian, and Maisie are in a van and try to outrun a big dinosaur, but they are knocked down a hill. They land near Owen, Claire, and Kayla, which brings Maisie back to Owen and Claire. Claire also gets to meet Ellie while Owen meets Alan. The Giganotosaurus then follows the group, and it almost gets Maisie, but she gets away. Ian scares it away by throwing a burning cloth into its mouth. While the heroes try to figure out how to get out, Biosin starts to burn down, forcing the workers to leave. Dodson tries to get away with his work, and before he leaves, Ramsey tells him off one last time. Dodson tries to get away on the monorail, but 3 Dilophosaurus catch up to him and eat him. When Beta runs into the heroes, they put her to sleep so they can take her with them safely. Wu also finds them, and he has figured out how to change the locust DNA to stop them from spreading. Just as the group is getting ready to leave, the Giganotosaurus shows up again, but it gets stuck between a T-Rex and a Therizinosaurus. The people run away to avoid the fight between the dinosaurs, which ends when the T-Rex pushes the Giganotosaurus into the claws of the Therizinosaurus. Alan and Ellie start dating again when they are safe again. They later go to Washington, D.C. to testify against Biosin. Wu's work is successful and stops the spread of the locusts. When Owen, Claire, and Maisie go home, they bring Blue and Beta back together. Blue gives Owen one last glance before going back into the forest. One last voiceover says that both dinosaurs and people must change in order to live together. So, what did you think of this movie? Tell us in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video.